In the last 10 minutes, Skripal, Putin, and Europe's resilience in the last half-hour. Ireland to expel Russian diplomat over Salisbury nerve agent attack. Australia expels 2 Russian diplomats over nerve agent attack in the last hour. US data will drive the dollar today. Destination unknown. Video. Russia vows adequate response to US-EU over diplomats expulsion. Israeli Foreign Ministry unaware about plans to expel Russian diplomats. Salisbury. Estonian President Kersti Kaljulaid says West united the expulsion of Russian diplomats is giving Theresa May a boost. Russia flags response to U.S. diplomat move. Emotionally deaf U.S. timed expulsion of diplomats to national Russia to respond appropriately to U.S. expulsion of Russian envoys. Rear Australia expels 2 Russians, in joint show of anger at spy attack. Salisbury. What are the rules now in the last 2 hours? View from Russia on the U.S. expulsion of Russian diplomats. Australia to boycott World Cup 2018 over nerve agent attack. Vienna. London has not proven Russia's guilt for Skripal's poison. Australia expels Russian diplomats over brazen attack on Britain. Danish parties crave sanctions against Putin. Nord Stream 2. The war zone. Tuesday, March 27, 2018. The expulsion of the Russian agent prompts debates in Skopje. Diplomats expulsion crisis signals worsening of Western-Russian relations. In the news today, March 27. Australia expelling 2 Russian diplomats over nerve agent attack. Media. Australian PM backs anti-Russia measures. Australia is the latest country to expel Russian diplomats in the last 4 hours. Poll. Should Ireland expel Russian diplomats? Cyprus will not expel Russian diplomats. Government spokesman says Australia joins UK allies over Russian diplomat expulsion. Russian diplomats expelled across US and Europe. Russia to respond harshly to US expulsion of diplomats. Australia expels 2 Russian diplomats over spy poisoning in Britain. These are the 23 countries that have now expelled Russian diplomats. Russian diplomats expelled from Australia. Dozens of Russian diplomats expelled across globe. Russia's EU friends declined to expel diplomats. Australia joins Britain in expelling Russian diplomats. EU states expel over 30 Russian diplomats. Heather Stewart. Russia to respond harshly to U.S. expulsion of diplomats. Portugal notes mass expulsion of Russian diplomats. Avoid stance expert. Coordinated move to expel diplomats. Unprecedented. Nicosia will not expel Russian diplomats. Spokesman says U.S. and 14 EU members expel Russian diplomats in relation to Skripal attack. Turkey will not act against Russia, says Deputy PM. Australia expel Russian diplomats over brazen attack on Britain. Ireland expected to expel at least 1 Russian diplomat today. Australia hints at possible World Cup boycott over nerve agent attack. Skripal case. Croatia and Romania expel Russian diplomats. 2 Tenios. Dant doesn't expect further Russia sanctions. US has informed UN of decision to expel Russian diplomats. Salisbury. Australia becomes latest country to expel Russian diplomats. Russia to respond harshly to US expulsion of diplomats. Rio. Western countries unite to expel Russian diplomats over spy poisoning. New Zealand. We would expel Russian spies, but we can't find any. Russia to respond harshly to U.S. expulsion of diplomats. Rear. Ireland moves to expel Russian diplomats. Britain's Johnson. Expulsions show international frustration with Russia. Trump. Trudeau discuss expelling Russian spies in wake of Skripal case. Poland expels 4 Russian diplomats. United States expels 60. Danish parties call for sanctions against Putin. Nord Stream 2. World unites against Russia over Salisbury attack. European FX outlook. Sentiment indicators. Headline. European session. Trump administration orders expulsion of 60 Russian intelligence officials in the last 6 hours. Prague expels 3 Russian diplomats in reaction to Skripal case.